Now, look, my people, it is very clear that something, somewhere, wants to see and keep you in a state of fear. And that brings up a topic of today that I would say is rumors and rumors and rumors of war. This is a phrase right here that I've heard for several years at this point. And when I look around, I observe and I think about what I see and question basically what I see. A lot of times, what I hear doesn't amount up to what I see. Like, I hear of all of these atrocities and all of these things that I need to fear or be afraid of that like are to come. It's almost like a World War III. It's always been this nuclear threat since they started making nuclear bombs. Like, they've always held that over people's head as if it's anything to be afraid of. Why look to be in fear of anything at this point? They say it's a million ways to die. Choose one. Therefore, whatever you harp on the most, whatever you think is your boogeyman, like whatever you perceive to be your boogeyman, at some point, it's going to get to you. And that's because you're putting the energy, you're putting your energy into that thing that you're afraid of terminating you at some point, and you're allowing that energy to exist. If you didn't put as much energy into it, it would not affect you in any way, because that's not a way that you would be choosing to go out. But due to the fact that you're putting all the energy and you're allowing this thing that you're somehow afraid of through word of mouth, and of course in seeing, in hearing the words, of course. So you really have to be conscious, cautious of what you're looking at, what you're listening to. Because if you really, really take a deep, in-depth look, you might not see what's being presented to you until you start to believe in what it is that you're hearing. And once you put your belief in somebody else's perception of reality, you're now in the passenger seat, because you just gave up your license to drive and you're allowing somebody else to drive for you, basically. That's basically like getting pulled over for some misdemeanor crime or ending up in the court system, right? And you got to show up. You got this piece of paper you signed out, which they call a ticket, right? Which is your promise to appear in court. So, due to the fact that you promised to appear, now you show up, and if you needed a public defender, then they give you this public defender. But when you walk into that court, that public defender has to speak for you on your behalf. So, but you present. So it's the same thing. You're giving up your rights. You're giving up who you are. And allowing something else, something outside of you to represent you. To lead you, to guide you, to make you whole. They got another saying. There's nobody in this world who will do for you what you will not do for yourself. So never put your life in the hands of anybody else. The Creator put you here for a purpose, a reason. You here to serve out your purpose, your reason. Can't nobody serve that for you. That's your job. That's for you to figure out. If you get yourself in some mess, you gotta get yourself out of it, right? So this all ties into this rumor, and these rumors of wars. Because this whole war nonsense is just something for you to be afraid of, something for you to be in fear of. That's going to occur at some point in time in the future. It's World War III. But the war is never ending, right? So we got various types of wars. Let's check out a war. Let's check out one of the wars. And let's see basically, let's see what that war is about. Let's see. Alright, so check this out. Right here, we got pulled up the war on drugs. So this is Wikipedia. And let's see what they're talking about. Okay. So, a lot of people waiting for World War III to pop off, right? But look, this is something that's been popping off since before a lot of us was born, right? Alright. So, it says, the war on drugs is a global campaign led by the United States federal government of drug prohibition, military aid, and military intervention with the aim of reducing the illegal drug trade in the United States. Alright? So, we see who leading the way, right? The United States federal government trying to do this globally, right? A war. Now, this is you know some people that's done died behind drugs. Probably family members, friends. We all know somebody, right? We all tied into somebody who got caught up in this drug stuff. The drug wars. Because it's not only these governments placing war upon these drug lords or drug kings or the drug epidemics or whatever it may be. It's the inner city turmoil. I mean, the inner city rivalries and territorial situations that take place. So it's like, it's bigger than a little bit, right? So it affects a lot of people. It affects everybody. But then at the top, We got drug stores, right? We got spots that house drugs, like, so they got storages, big ass storages. You know what I'm saying? With drugs in them. So we got pharmacists, like, so we not even gonna get into the whole war on drugs, because a lot of people got addicted by design. So we don't even want to just focus on, because like we got that. You know what I'm saying? And they chasing that globally. They looking globally to try to eradicate, you know what I'm saying, the war on drugs. That's been taking place since, let's see when Wikipedia, let's see a date let's see if they give a date for this. Term coined June 18, 1971. So let's just say they may have been chasing these ghosts from about 1971. It says the term was popularized by the media shortly after a press conference given on June 18, 1971 by President Richard Nixon, the day after publication of a special message from President Nixon to the Congress on drug abuse prevention and control, during which he declared drug abuse public enemy number one. One, public enemy number one. Is that right? Okay, 1971. Wow. Drug abuse. Wow. Okay. So they were still giving out drugs in the hospitals though. And people in the care of doctors were getting prescribed medications in which they got addicted to, which are considered drugs. Opioids, opioid-based medications, things of that nature. I don't know. I'm not going to go in depth on that. I'm not a doctor, so you know what I'm saying. Although I am I'm not a medical professional, but I am every word that is out there to be, because I am that I am. So I'm my own doctor, and yes, I am a doctor of the streets. I've seen, I've learned, I know, and I can, and I will, if needed and when needed. My expertise or non-expertise will be on display if I have to put a tourniquet or a band-aid, maybe. If I got a band-aid, you know what I'm saying? Wrap somebody up with a ace bandage or something. I mean, I got that. I could do that. Thermometer, you know what I'm saying? I could apply that. But yeah. So let's check it out. Let's check something else out. Let's see what else we got. We got let's see. The war on gangs. The United States. Looky here. Good old United States. They always in on it, right? They always in on it. Good old United States. In the United States, the war on gangs is a national movement to reduce gang-related activity, gang violence, and gang drug involvement on the local, state, and federal level. The war on gangs is a multilateral approach as federal agencies seek to disrupt the cycle of violence through intervention with state police and social workers. So here we see it. We got a whole another war, like, so you got your drug war, and then as you see right there, some of the drug involvement connects with gangs, but that's not all it's all about, right? Like I said, hospitals and everything. I mean, it's hard to see. You can't separate anything here because it's all connected. All is one. So it's all kind of gangs. I don't know how y'all view it, but it's a trickle down theory. Like, all of this stuff starts at the top, right? It's all umbrella and Ponzi underneath. Even at the top, it's Ponzi. But it all trickles down. Monkey see, monkey do, realm, reality, trends, fads, followers. Start somewhere, it's glorified, and others take part. So the gangs are everywhere. Like, a war on gangs, the gang war is prevalent throughout anybody with a name, any corporation, any public street claiming group, or anybody claiming a city. It's all gang violence. And so gangs are forms of separation. Okay, so I've mentioned before that anytime you're taking upon a title, you just separating yourself from somebody else. Either your group is better than their group. Usually that's the thing. You're better than somebody else. You put yourself on this pedestal. You look down on these other people. And it's really not beneficial. Like, it does nothing but create instability. It creates division, and strength is in numbers. And united we stand. United we build. United we grow. United we conquer. So these gangs are right on time, man. Violent, active. They bring about all types of atrocities. Capitalism. Capitalists. They capitalize off of other people's downfalls. Bring down the communities in order to uplift a brand, they name. And this is not just geared at your average just street gang. Let's not focus on that. You know what I'm saying? The typical gang that's named themselves after the street. Alright? You got gangsters who pay people to pave them streets, who believe that they run much more than that. Right? So the war on gangs. So it's all of these wars, right? That ain't never stopping. And war brings money. War generates money, right? And so you got to understand that the people who are behind the scenes fighting these wars are getting these these big bankrolls to fight these wars, right? So we got this war on drugs. Like, they gonna need surveillance. They gonna need maybe some different type of weapons. They gonna need something for overhead, whatever it is. New vehicles. I don't know what they need, but they gonna need it. Overtime money. They gonna need it, right? To chase down and follow these people who got the drugs. Oh my goodness. Inside job. You know what I'm saying? Should you okay. To overlook a lot of stuff, right? And go pin something on somebody else. On the little people. Then the war on gangs, you're gonna need more. You're gonna need people on that. You're gonna have to start units. Gang units. Gang patrol units. You're gonna have to have officers strictly focused on finding these type of people. You know, pinpointing this type of crowd. Getting out in search of the daily routine, trying to cut down on this type of activity. So now, you gotta have money for that. You know, you gotta pay these dudes therapists for these dudes to be rolling up, just hopping out on any and everybody at any moment of time, ready to damn near beat somebody to a pulp because they gotta take control of the situation. And they put into a terrible situation in which they gotta choose, right? And bring order to things that are already in order. They're not in disarray, right? It's the facade. It's the glamour and glitz of beating somebody up black in public or on camera at this point, from what I've seen, right? Okay, so or just beating somebody up in general. Don't gotta be black. We're not gonna focus there like that, because it's all kind of people that just that take something for the team, and it happens. So then we get the war on crime, right? We get the war on crime, and let's pull that up. Let's pull it up. See what they got to say about that. The war on crime, huh? The war on crazy. Let's see. On Crazy 9. What is a war on crime? President Lyndon Johnson declared a national war on crime on March 8, 1965, shortly after his declaration of a war on poverty. Johnson labeled crime a crippling epidemic hindering the progress of the nation. That being said, the target of the war on crime was not merely criminal behavior, but rather the sociological and economic factors that the national government believed led to criminality. Okay, wait. Wrong crime. So, to that end, police and other law enforcement officials were responsible for monitoring poverty, racial antagonism, family breakdown, and the restlessness of young people According to President Johnson's Commission on Law Enforcement and the Administration of Justice. What did I just read? I wasn't even gonna read the end of that, but for some reason I read this to the end and I do not know. He gave the police who? Wait, hold on. Wait. They gotta be playing with me. They gotta be playing with me. Alright, so it says, that being said, the target of the war on crime was not merely criminal behavior, but rather the sociological and economic factors that the national government believed led to criminality. So let's look at the factors that the national government believed led to criminality. To that end, police and other law enforcement officials were responsible for monitoring. So poverty led to criminality. They had to watch racial antagonism. That sounds like racism from different groups. Which they call, what do they call that now? I can't think of it, but that's racism. Like, just somebody messing with you. It could be anybody of a different race, on some stereotype stuff. Just messing with you because you black. That's what I would see as racial antagonism. Family breakdown. These are reasons why the crime rates are high. Family breakdown. The restlessness of young people. Are they trying to say they can't sleep? Like, because they homeless? They run in the streets? They too scared because there's gunshots at night? Like, people dying around them? Like, what? The restlessness of young people. So, according to President Johnson, like, they attention deficit disorder? Like, what the hell is going on right here? But how are the police? The police and other law enforcement gonna be responsible for this? Is that why we see police whipping people's behinds? This was in 1965. Like, what is this? Why when somebody with a mental health issue comes out, is having an issue, and they call the police, and then the police show up, and the result is basically the police shouldn't have been called because the police came out and exacerbated the situation. I don't even know. I don't even know where we get into with this. Like, the police dealing with the restlessness of young people. But if you see any of these characteristics, any of these type things happen, and then these people are looked upon as criminals, law enforcement, police, policy enforcers, politics, been practiced on the people. Like, so somehow all of these things got something to do with crime. Okay. So there we get it. There we got it. That's the war on crime. You know what I'm saying? We would have been thinking like home invasions, robberies, kidnapping, human trafficking, domestic violence, things of that nature. Um, but no, they let you know poverty. And okay, impoverished people. Yeah, this is everywhere. They went in somebody purse, stole $5 or $20 or something. Okay, we know that. But what we doing about it? We put a war on it. A war on it, though. Like we declare war. These are wars declared on the people of your country. These are Americans, right? But you declaring war on these people like they terrorists. Is a war assistance? Is that helping somebody? Or is that targeting people as if they're criminals? Because the weird thing is that all of these wars was set in place, and most of these things that were probably not happening back then, that was over exaggerated, are either worse now or they still in effect. It's still a war on all of this stuff. People are still dying today behind all of these things. Nothing has changed. It's more than likely worse. The war on drugs, they got fentanyl now. Like, come on now. The drugs still getting into the corporation. Like, they're still leaking through. What's gonna change? What's the real? What is the real? So then, yeah, we get the war on crime. Fudge it. Get it. Let's see what they got. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what they have to discuss about the war on blacks. Let's see what Wikipedia got to say about that. Well, in the first, now Wikipedia, they ain't got nothing to say on that. The war on blacks. Nah. Okay, so I look at somebody small and they want to use cookies on my hook end. I'm not big on cookies. Like, I ain't got no milk. And y'all already know that we kind of lactose intolerant and things of that nature. So, you don't be pooting and farting all over the place. So, I ain't trying to have none of they cookies, though. Let's see. A review of the Jim Crow mass incarceration in the age of colorblindness by Michelle Alexander, New York. New York, The New Press, 2012, paperback revised edition, original hardcover, published in 2010. The New Jim Crow. By Michelle Alexander is the most damning indictment of the war on drugs as a cover for the war on blacks imaginable.
Slavery was a clear-cut denial of all rights of blacks as Americans and human beings. Slaves had no right to come and go, no right to choose work or leisure, no right to enjoy an intact family, but the slave holders had the right to command and lock in labor force. The Civil War finally ended 3.5 centuries of outright, unapologetic subjugation. Okay, so all right, so I was trying to get to the war on blacks, so that's a portion of the war on blacks, though. It go way back, basically. It go way back, and it go back further than that with this Jim Crow and these slaves or so-called slaves, you know, uh, black folk. Um, so it gets deep because you have people who were in the Americas prior to the people who came here as slaves. You have people that they recognized as Negroes in the Americas prior to the people that they call slaves. Um, so it could get deep. It could get deep. Um, they had no right to choose work or leisure. So yeah, I was trying to figure out the war on blacks. So yeah, that's a portion of the war on blacks because they came here. They had some people as slaves. They bought some people over here as slaves. I guess I don't really know, but I guess they could have bought a few people from Africa over here as slaves. I know that they bought a large amount of white people over here as slaves. So you know, I'm still learning a lot of that stuff. So, but as we read one thing in there, the war on drugs. So somehow, when you get into the war on blacks, we got racial profiling that a lot of us have seen. We have driving while black was something that was taking place. You can ultimately say breathing while black. That could dang near just about be something that we could be um, speaking upon as well because we get it from all angles. Like it don't stop. It does not stop. Um, so yeah, a lot of things has happened, and all of the wars that I've been speaking on can all be connected to black people. So you have the war on drugs, you have the war on gangs, you have the war on crime. But as you see, is when you look across the world at the different races of people, it's always the blacks. You know what I'm saying? That are the gang members, the drug dealers, the criminals. We are always represented as those people. So everywhere we go, we get the short end of the stick. We're the judged cover. We're the walking, talking, living, breathing book that nobody's willing to talk to, ask questions, and get to understand or overstand before they pass judgment from their outer appearance, from the cover of that book. And through distortion, they already know the individual that they're visualizing. Which takes away from what it is to be respected or acknowledged. So some of these things make no sense, and I'm getting used to what I'm doing here, recording, things of that nature. So I'm just having fun with what it is that I do. And of course, I'm all over the place because I'm just coming off the top of the dome, trying to put some stuff together, but not trying to put too much into what it is that I need to get out, because it's all simple. The war is against the people. And at this point, if you guys haven't come to notice and see that, well, then you're just walking around blindfolded. You're allowing the blind to, you allow yourself to be led by the blind, because it's all out here. The whole invisible enemy, well, that's the people. The people are the invisible enemy. The story of Christ, as it was said that in the beginning was the Word was God, of God, the Word became God, or the Word was God, and then the Word became flesh and lived amongst us. We all live within and amongst flesh. Right? We are in the temple, we are in the body. So something's always been at war with the body of Christ. And all that are born through a woman is born into the representation of the body of Christ. I, you, them, they, whatever. Right? Therefore, there's a war. And I've heard for a while people talking about this spiritual war. Yes. The war is very spiritual. And the war is against the body of Christ, the temple of. As you are not the body, you reside within the body. But the body, the mansion, the home of that creative aspect that you are, is what's in jeopardy. That gets you up out of here. Without this, you leave. You can't be effective here. So the war has always been on the people. The people are the invisible enemy. When you hear them speaking of invisible enemies and you look around and the only people that you see passing away are people that look like you and me, or just people in general passing away in massive amounts, well then that's basically the invisible enemy. Invisible because to the corporation you don't care. I mean, you
don't exist. A corporation is a separate entity. It's not living like you. A corporation can give a damn about you. It just wants your money. It needs your money to exist. And what is your money? Your energy. It needs your energy to exist because there is no money. There's just the transference of energy. They need your energy to operate, to stay in operation. You operate through your energy. Things that allow other things to exist. Without your corporation, there would be no corporation. They rule, they regulate. They control. They organize. Mandate. You comply. Become complacent. Controlled in a place of control. Disempowered. Through your own will. You give up total control and power for no reason beneficial to yourself. So that's where we at. People out here waiting for a World War III, a nuclear this, nuclear that. They've been scaring people with this nuclear weapon stuff forever. Why? Why would you want to be afraid? Why should you be afraid? Like I've said before, it's time to come together. Time to unite. That's how we gonna win. Connecting. Gotta let the nonsense go. We gotta stop being at war with each other. And then your biggest enemy, they say keep your enemy close. Who's the closest person to you? Yourself. You got that voice that's inside your head telling you to make poor choices. You got the voice inside of your head telling you not to make poor choices, to make positive, good decisions. And what you tend to want to do is continue to make that poor choice. At some point, you got to make that positive, that right decision. With that being said, I think I'm going to wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? This is rumors of war. They everywhere. It's all over the place. It's all the time. You your worst enemy. You know. You gonna stop yourself from progressing and becoming your better self because you gonna tell yourself to wait till next year to start that process. While all along you telling yourself to start it tomorrow. But you still got unfinished business with some unnecessary shit that ain't beneficial, that ain't gonna help you focus and grow and go further, but you still want to dwell, hang out there. You know what I'm saying? Because really you just scared to progress and move forward. So you put that greatness, that part of you that's trying to elevate, establish, extend, excel, advance. Like, you keep it under wraps. You stagnate it. You put it on the back burner. And then you don't take responsibility for that. You put that on somebody else. So yeah, let's get it. The war has been against us. The war is on us. You know what I'm saying? There's no escaping it. The war is against the body. Toxins in the food. Chemtrails. Foreign things getting pushed into our bodies. You know what I'm saying? From birth. So it's been on us. Keep your eyes open. Have a good one. Stay on the right path. Stay focused. Do what y'all got us to do. I'm about to get up out of here. All right. Peace. Mo2. Masters of the universe. Let's go. Let's grow.